Most people think waking up at 3 a.m. every night is just a normal part of getting older, or dealing with stress, or having a bad mattress. But it's not. It actually starts deep inside your brain. See, your brain has a built-in alarm system that is supposed to go off gradually when the sun comes up. But for people over 40, or anyone carrying chronic stress, that alarm system gets rewired. It starts firing at the exact wrong moment, pulling you out of the deep sleep phase your body desperately needs to restore itself. The problem is, most people have no idea that this system is broken. They try melatonin, cold plunges, and blue light blocking glasses, and they still wake up tired at 3 a.m. because those things only work on the outside. In this video, I'm gonna show you the hidden electrical system in your brain that is actually causing this, and how you can finally turn that 3 a.m. alarm off so you can sleep through the night. If you're waking up at 3 a.m. every single night, you have probably tried to fix it from the outside in. You might be taking melatonin, taping your mouth shut, wearing blue light blocking glasses, or tracking your sleep with a ring or a watch. The problem is, as a board-certified integrative medicine physician, I see patients every day who do all those things perfectly and still wake up exhausted. You treat their bedroom like a biohacking laboratory, but their eyes still pop open at exactly the same time every night. And that is because those traditional approaches are trying to fix a surface level problem, when the real issue is operating at a much deeper structural level inside your brain. To understand why this happens, you have to look at how sleep actually works. Your brain doesn't just shut off when your eyes close. It cycles through different stages of sleep using electrical frequency called brainwaves. During the first half of the night, your brain is doing the heavy lifting. It drops into slow, deep frequencies called delta waves. This is the restorative phase, where your body repairs tissues and clears out metabolic waste. But right around 2 or 3 a.m., the architecture of your sleep naturally shifts. Your brain starts moving out of that deep delta phase and transitions into lighter stages like REM and light sleep. This transition period is incredibly fragile. And right at the exact moment, your body begins to quietly release cortisol, which is your primary stress hormone. In a perfectly healthy system, this cortisol release is slow, gradual buildup that is designed to wake you up gently by the morning. You sleep right through the 3 a.m. rise without ever knowing it happened. But if you're over 40, or if you've been carrying chronic stress for months or years, your cortisol system gets completely dysregulated. Instead of a slow, gentle rise, your cortisol spikes abruptly in the middle of the night. Because your brain is already in that fragile transition between deep and light sleep, that spike acts like a chemical alarm going off inside your skull. But it's not just the hormones that wake you up. That cortisol spike fundamentally alters the electrical activity inside your brain. According to a landmark study published in the Journal of Sleep Medicine Reviews, chronic stress and insomnia causes the brain to produce an excess of high-frequency beta waves, the exact brain waves you use for active waking thought, right in the middle of the night. This is what scientists call the hyperarousal model of insomnia. Another massive 2022 study published in Frontiers in Neuroscience mapped the brains of chronic insomnia patients, and they found that they had significantly elevated beta power during their nighttime sleep compared to normal sleepers. Their brains were experiencing 24-hour cortisol hyperarousal. They had literally lost the ability to turn off their waking frequencies. So when that cortisol spikes at 3 a.m., it shoves your brainwaves completely in the wrong direction. Instead of gently cycling back into sleep, your brain gets yanked out all the way up into the high beta mode. Your heart rate beats a little too fast, and your mind starts racing even though the room is pitch dark. That is an electrical arousal pattern that has been hardwired on the on position. This is exactly why surface level sleep hacks fail. Melatonin is not a sleeping pill. It just tells your brain when it's dark outside. By 3 a.m., melatonin should have already done this job. Blue light glasses manage light exposure, and cold plunges manage surface level stress. You're trying to fix a deep electrical short circuit in your brain with a pair of orange glasses. It's like trying to put out a house fire by turning down the thermostat. Until you address the actual electrical pattern firing inside your brain, you'll keep waking up at 3 a.m. Now, here's what makes this pattern so difficult to break on your own. When that cortisol spike shoves your brain into beta at 3 a.m., it's not just disrupting one night of sleep. Every time it happens, it reinforces the neural pathway that triggers it. Your brain is a learning organ. It strengthens whatever it repeats. So the more nights you wake up at 3 a.m. in a high beta state, the more efficiently your brain learns to produce that state at exactly the same time. It becomes automatic and independent of whatever stress originally caused it. This is why people who've addressed their stress, improved their hormones, and done everything else right, still can't break that 3 a.m. cycle. The electrical patterns have already taken a life of their own, completely separate from the trigger that started it. Research published in the Journal of Sleep Research supports this, finding that chronic insomnia patients show conditioned cortical arousal, meaning their brains have learned to activate at specific times during the night, regardless of external stressors. The habit of waking up literally becomes written into the brain's firing pattern. And there's a second consequence that compounds the problem over time. Every night you spend cycling through light sleep instead of deep delta, your brain accumulates what researchers call sleep debt at the neurological level, which means an actual reduction in the brain's capacity to generate slow wave activity the following night. The deeper your sleep deprivation goes, paradoxically, the harder it becomes for your brain to reach deep sleep it desperately needs. So the cycle feeds itself. Poor sleep weakens delta production. Weakened delta makes deep sleep harder to reach. And the hardwired 3 AM arousal pattern keeps firing right at the moment your brain is most vulnerable to being pulled out of whatever depth it managed to reach. This is why the solution has to work at the level of the electrical pattern itself, not around it. That's exactly what brain mapping does. It's a neuroscience technique used to visualize and map the structure and function of your brain. In it, sensors are placed on your scalp that read and record electrical frequencies your brain is producing in real time. This produces a detailed visual map of exactly which brainwave frequencies are dominant, which are suppressed, and where the irregularities are. But brain mapping is just a diagnostic tool. It only shows you the pattern that's causing the wake up at 3 AM. It doesn't fix it. To fix those patterns and to regulate your brain system, you need neurofeedback therapy. During a neurofeedback session, your brain activity is monitored live, and every time your brain produces the healthy, regulated frequencies associated with deep sleep, it receives a positive signal. Over time, your brain starts to naturally gravitate towards those frequencies on its own. That hardwired 3 AM arousal pattern begins to loosen. The neural pathways that kept pulling you towards alpha and beta at 3 AM start to weaken, and the deeper, slow delta and theta frequencies that belong in the middle of the night start to stabilize. This is why it's different from every biohack or supplement you've ever tried. Neurofeedback works from the inside out without masking the symptom or suppressing a cortisol spike. They go directly to the source, the electrical pattern itself, and retrain it back to regulation. People who take neurofeedback sessions often report a permanent relief they've never had in years. But you need a personalized approach for this because everyone has different health goals and different body requirements. The brain patterns of someone suffering from chronic insomnia are different from patterns of someone experiencing slight sleep issues. This is why we built the Brain Bloom program. It's a comprehensive program that includes brain mapping, neurofeedback therapy, and personalized nutritional support alongside hyperbaric oxygen therapy to create the internal environment your brain needs to hold those new frequencies consistently. Not a generic protocol or a one-size-fits-all approach. It's specifically built around your brain, your frequencies, and the specific pattern that's been pulling you out of that 3 AM sleep. If you want to experience it for yourself or learn more about it, the link is in the description below.